Hello. The National Parliament resumed this week with condolence motions for the victims of the series of natural disasters that have afflicted Australians over the past 2 months. Tragically, floods, Cyclone Yasi and bushfires have wrought destruction on communities in many parts of Australia. A couple of weeks ago I visited Dimboola and Horsham in Victoria to see the damage in those two towns. The Parliament was moved by the words of many members from the affected areas, especially the new member for Wright, Scott Buckholtz, whose electorate was badly hit by the recent disaster. This week also marked the second anniversary of the Black Saturday bushfires in Victoria. Speaking on behalf of the Coalition in the House of Representatives, I praised the efforts of local communities to rebuild and to recover. Travelling through little towns like Kinglake, Buxton and Marysville and their surrounding areas recently, it was pleasing to see the progress that's being made. Julia Gillard has introduced her flood tax this week into Parliament. Australians are deeply worried about a profligate government which has squandered the surplus it inherited. Instead of saving for what turned out literally to be a rainy day, Labor spent our national savings and borrowed more to fund handouts and a series of programs such as the deadly pink bats fiasco that wasted billions of dollars of taxpayers' money. It's not that Australians are uncaring. Witness their generous response to disasters over the years. But they are deeply disillusioned with a government whose mantra is tax and spend, tax and spend. Ms Gillard also intends to proceed with a mining tax that will affect employment and investment and a carbon tax that will make electricity prices leap by more than 50% and increase the price of virtually everything in this country. Instead of cutting government waste, Julia Gillard is asking Australians to fund her spendathon. The Coalition will oppose the new tax. We believe that the government can find savings from its budget and have suggested ways in which this can be done by either deferring or cutting expenditure. Earlier this week, the British Prime Minister David Cameron made a significant speech on multiculturalism in Europe. Asked by the media for my comments, I stressed that it was important that we integrate into a socially cohesive society. Our great achievement in Australia has been to balance diversity and integration. Diversity is celebrated in Australia, but so too should we highlight the relationships which hold societies and communities together. I was interviewed about these issues by Steve Price and Andrew Bolt on MTR on Wednesday morning. Turning to local issues, I've been supporting the campaign to retain a post office at Tunstall Square. I've had discussions with Australia Post and the Manningham Council. I've also written to the Communications Minister Stephen Conroy and to the Union, urging them to help facilitate the retention of the Post Office. Apart from the traders and local residents, the Post Office serves the nearby rehabilitation hospital and aged care homes and retirement villages. We should have a Post Office in East Doncaster, and I'm fighting to retain it. Until next time, best wishes.